Greetings and welcome to the Youth Development Division tutorial on the Q4 Annual Data Report. This tutorial will cover the requirements unique to the Annual Data Report. This tutorial will use the data report linked in SurveyMonkey Apply and will review the process of assigning all active youth a program end date. This process is also known as end dating, and it's end dating that makes the annual reports completed in Q4 and Q8 distinct from all other data reporting. Additionally, this outline and provided timestamps can be used to review specific areas at a later time. Now let's go get our data report. Click into the Q4 reporting task, then scroll down to the data report section, highlight the link to the data report, right click on that link and select Go To, and this will open up the data report. We're going to start by reviewing the Q3 submitted data report. I will draw your attention to the information I put in the date of birth column, and this shows how program start date is interpreted. As you can see, a 7/1 start date indicates that the youth was active at the start of the biennium. The other dates that fall within a specific quarter indicate that a youth was added during that quarter. By way of review, I'll show you what happens with the drag feature. You can click into any cell, click in the lower left-hand area of the cell, and then drag, and that will reproduce whatever was in that cell. Additionally, you can select the cell and copy, and it will produce a similar result. And this tip is very important that when pasting, please select the paste values option. I call this option the 1, 2, 3 paste because of the 1, 2, 3 on the image. But selecting that will paste without importing any of the formulas or formatting. All right. Now that we've reviewed this, we'll see what the Q4 data reporting will look like. As with any quarters reporting, the first thing we want to do is add youth that started programming in Q4, add youth that returned during Q4, and then end date any youth that left during Q4. As we look at the youth here that was end dated, the end dating requires the youth characteristics at program end date be completed. So as I look across, this information tells me that when this youth started the program, they were in grade 12 plus, continuing their high schooling. They were not employed. When they left the program, they had left education, also were not employed. And this tells me that this youth is a candidate for a re-engagement program. Now, this data as is in this report for a typical quarter would be ready to submit. However, for Q4 and Q8, we need to end date all active youth. You might ask yourself, well, what's an easy way to tell what youth are active? The easiest way is to sort the program end date column by oldest to newest. This will move all inactive rows to the very top, and all of the rows that remain without an end date are active. We can then enter program end date, see that it's 6/30/22. I'm going to copy that date and again use paste values to enter that date. And all youth have now received a program end date. However, the end date requires that the youth characteristics at program end date also be completed. To do this, I am going to demonstrate the value of the paste values. I'm going to select this data, copy it, return to our data report, highlight these areas, and paste into it. As you can see, I didn't use the select values or the paste values option, and it brought with it the green shading formatting. I'm going to try again, and this time use the paste values option. And as you can see, it did not bring in the shading, and this is ideal. So here we have now a complete Q4 data report where all youth have been end dated, and all of those end dates have been updated with characteristics at program end date. This data report is ready to submit. When we get to Q5, we will now have all program youth end dated. Some of these youth are going to be returning in many cases. I have highlighted youth that received, active youth that received a program end date. I've highlighted these because these youth have earned a credential and are not returning in Q5. I'm going to highlight their program end dates. I'm going to change the color and also change the date. This is going to help sort. I'm just backing it up by a single date. Again, I'm going to copy and use the paste values button and plug that in. This now allows me to sort program end date, oldest to newest, and this time moves the youth that are not returning in Q5 to the top of the list. Now I have all of the youth that are returning in Q5, and I can pull this entire section, copy this entire section all the way through program start date. I'm not including that because they will have a new program start date, but I can then once again use the paste values option, and I have now populated all of the returning youth in Q5. Again, I will need to have a new start date, which is 07/01/22. And again, I'm going to copy that and paste that date in using the paste values option. Now all of my youth have a new start date. One of the things that you may note is that 6:30 and 7/1 are less than 24 hours apart, or exactly 24 hours apart. So it's unlikely that the program characteristics at end date are different than the program characteristics at start date. This allows me to copy the end date characteristics and then plug them in to the start date, again using the paste values option, and voila, now I have updated youth characteristics at program start date. And this is a Q5 data report that is ready to for next steps. Those next steps include adding new youth in quarter 5, adding returning youth in quarter 5, and end dating any youth that left in quarter 5. Here we have one new youth that was added during quarter 5 as represented by a different start date, and there are no end dates and therefore no characteristics at end date need to be updated. There are also no returning youth. So this represents a quarter 5 data report that is ready for submission and concludes today's training. Thank you for your time. And if you have additional questions, please ask your grant manager. Thank you and have a good day.